Do you not have thousands of dollars to spend, but you still want to DJ with 4 decks on keyboard and mouse? This is how you do it. So this is what I do in order to DJ on keyboard and mouse in rekordbox. Now, I'm sure there's probably some other way to do it in other DJ softwares like Virtual DJ or Serato. There may or may not be. I don't really know, but candidly, this is what came with my DJ controller. You only really need a few things to DJ, generally, but that means you only have to map out a few things on rekordbox. You only need pause and play. That's arguably the most important one. Then you need beat sync, or really BPM sync, and I choose to assign these pads as well because I DJ riddim, and the way I've structured out my hotkeys is in such a way that it's standardized. So for basically any song that has hotkeys on it, A is going to be 16 bars before the drop, and C is going to be 1 bar before the drop. So essentially 3, 2, 1, drop. The reason I do this is because obviously this is just like a good amount before the drop, and let's say, oh, I need to really quickly throw this in. I can just wait a sec. Ta-da! So, first and foremost, the way that you actually do this is by going into the settings, and then there's a little keyboard tab. You click on that, and you can see there's all sorts of crap that you can set up hotkeys for. This is a diagram of basically everything that I have set, at least deck specific. So for example, deck 1, as you can see on the diagram, and here I have it as Z. So whenever I press Z, it's going to start playing, and it will also pause it. It's not really rocket science. So basically, you do the exact same thing on each one of these decks. Anyway, the only thing that is not shown on the diagram is the use of the crossfader. Now, keep in mind, when you are DJing keyboard and mouse, specifically in rekordbox, I have run into a few different problems. For example, if I click this, and then I start trying to use the arrow keys, currently, I use the arrow keys for the crossfader, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But because I have just clicked this, whenever I click the arrow keys, it's just manipulating that slider. So what you have to do instead is you click here, and then you can mess around with the crossfade. In order to set that up, by the way, you go to Mixer. I don't know what any of this crap means, but I do know down here, slide crossfader to the left, slide crossfader to the right. The only ones that really matter are large, the parentheses large ones, because that moves it 1 full half through there. And so if I'm on this side and I want to quickly go to the other side, then you just have to like really quickly double tap it. Anyway, pro tips. First and foremost, you can use the scroll wheel to manipulate basically any value. You can also click and drag, and that works for everything as well, but anything you can click and drag on, you can also use scroll wheel. This just makes it just like kind of easy to just like quickly do a little double scroll, and then you can get it. You can be kind of precise without having to think about it too much. In a pinch, if you want to reset a value, let's say I want to really quickly bring this exactly back to the middle, but I don't want to have to spend the time like getting really finicky over it and making sure it's perfectly centered, just double click. This works for just about anything. The only thing I know it doesn't work for are these, but that's fine. But for example, these filters here, it works for everything. Same with effects. Double click is your friend. Double click and scroll wheel are your friend. So unfortunately, you cannot just DJ on keyboard. You have to have the mouse too. So I'll show you an example of the advantage of this. So right now to start, I'm loading up a double drop. I notice though that it's not the same tempo. So that's where you have the beat sync that comes in. You just tap both of them, boom. Now they're both 145. Then I'm gonna use Z and X. That's play and pause on both 1 and 2 to start them off. But this is like a double fake out, and it's going to require some chopping, so I'm just going to use the arrow keys here. with a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience, you can do it. It's pretty easy, especially for riddim. If you just want to test out doubles and like do your thing, this is a great, extremely budget-friendly option than buying a $5,000 set of 4 CDJs and a mixer. Give it some time, be patient, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks.